What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently today. I'm going to go through the SBD day that I did do the weekend just gone on the Saturday, as I always do every single week, and just talk a little bit about that. Mainly there's two things I did want to talk about today. Firstly, it is up. I know it's flipped actually. I'm going to flip this. Up. Undeniable performance. So as you guys know, or may not know, I have been in the fitness industry for 7-8 years now, maybe even longer, since, I don't know, I was like a teen, and I'm in my mid-20s now, I'm 25, so a long time. I've been coaching people in person, so like personal training for, well, since then, really, since I was 18, 19, very slowly, gradually building it up, and moving forward in my business, moving to fully self-employed. So alongside working as a personal trainer around about 3 years ago, I really got into powerlifting coaching. So I've been powerlifting myself since 2019. Before then I dabbled in it a little bit, but like I never really like called myself a powerlifter. I just trained the powerlifts, right? So since then, I've really developed a love for powerlifting, of course, and I wanted to move into powerlifting coaching. So I've been doing that now since probably 2020, so 3 years or so. I started to like coach about a year after I joined the powerlifting community and started becoming a powerlifter myself and competed for the first time. And the reason I jumped in so quickly is because I've had such a big background in just generalized coaching and generalized training that I only had to adapt a few things to try and to almost suit the sport a little bit more. Now, of course, over the past 3 years, I've learned more and more and more. I acquired clients, I made mistakes, I've made a lot of successes too. I've turned people that have never lifted a barbell into powerlifting athletes that I've competed on multiple occasions. I've had people podium, I've had first places, I've had a lot of success within powerlifting just under this umbrella that I usually use called JacobLifts, right? Personal training and coaching. And I've had a lot of success there, so I wanted to expand it a little bit now. And that's why I've decided to branch away from that kind of personal training and coaching umbrella and create this new umbrella, right? And that's what I'm calling undeniable performance. Now, undeniable performance is predominantly, well, mainly just powerlifting coaching. Any other kind of inquiries for like one-to-one sessions will be via like my personal training stuff, but powerlifting performance coaching. Alongside this, I've spent a lot of time and I've worked with a couple of people to develop one of the best coaching systems I've ever seen. And I'm really happy that I'm able to offer this to my own lifters and my own clients on my roster. So I do want to go through that a little bit more in the future. I don't know if I'm going to do it here on my YouTube or if I'm going to do it on Instagram or whatever, but yeah, I really want to go into kind of like what my coaching entails and how I program clients, and maybe just a little bit more of the coaching side of things, because at the moment I'm very much kind of like, I am a power lifter. You come onto this YouTube channel to watch me power lift, not coach, not speak to my clients or interact with my clients or coach my clients or go to competition days and handle them, which I do a lot of as well. So yeah, maybe I'm going to branch into that a little bit more. So if that is something that you are wanting to see, then that'd be absolutely fantastic, and I'd love to do that. So yeah, undeniable performance. If you haven't already, go to the Instagram, give it a follow. I'm going to be posting loads of info on there. I'm going to be posting everything to do with my own coaching for my other lifters, how I coach myself, game day handling, tips, tricks, just info, and just a general good bunch of information that's going to help you hopefully, and maybe even people that you know. So if you're interested, go over to Instagram and give it a follow. Secondly, once we run through this SBD stuff now, I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of how this prep has taken its toll on me mentally, where I'm sitting at mentally, and where I want to go from here. So as many of you may know, I'm around about 5 weeks out now, I think, and I started this prep super confident, and I was just so ready to perform and build up this performance that I'd be proud of, and prove to a lot of people that I am capable of what I think I'm capable of. The last few performances that I've had have not been the best, so I really wanted to dig deep on this prep. That's why I took an extended prep, just so I can try and nail down all the specifics, and I've got room to make mistakes along with the prep as well. So the prep was 10 weeks, so I'm 5 weeks in, I've got 5 weeks to go, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit run down now, and I'm feeling like the effects of prep are really taking its toll on me. This is probably the first week where I've had overshoots, where I've had situations where I've doubted myself, and it's probably the first time this whole prep where I've actually failed one lift as well, and it happened to be the day before today, which is 2 days after the SBD day. So I've kind of had to like give me a slap on the wrist and sort my shit out, because you know I can't be doing that, I can't be overshooting, and I can't be failing lifts either, really. I think it's very important for your mental to stay in the pocket, and what I mean by stay in the pocket is not overshooting, not undershooting, and just trying to sit on that perfect line for as long as you can. Now of course you're not going to be able to always sit on that perfect line forever, but it is something that you want to strive for. And for me, I know that sometimes ego gets in the way, and that's kind of what's been happening the past week or so. So starting with squats, really good on squats. In fact, I still would say squats are my best lift, and as you can see on the screen now, moving through my squat warm-ups, they're looking really good, they're looking great, and every single rep looks exactly the same. Something that a few of my peers pointed out is that I wasn't hitting very good depth in the past week or two, so I've fixed that now, nipped it in the bud, and honestly it doesn't make the lift any harder for me. I just need to remember to sink it as low as I can. I think I just get excited, I want to get the weight up as quick as I can, but yeah, of course, practice what you preach. I'm going to sink it nice and low and make sure that I've got some good quality squats there. So as you can see, it's moving really nicely. I do move up to my top set, which is 215 kilo, which for the record is only 2.5 kilo under my all-time competition best, which I'm really happy with. I did hit in the gym last training block for a single 225 or 6 kilo or something like that, and that was like an RP like 10, and I don't even think depth was there, so I don't like counting that, and it's not in competition anyway, so it shouldn't be counted, but I'm sticking with 217.5 kilos, my all-time best, and I hit 215 today at an RP of 7, which is great. So squats I'm really happy with. I'm kind of staying in the pocket on my squats. It's the only lift where I'm able to kind of like stay in tune with what I'm doing, and keep my composure from week to week and not overshoot. Moving on to bench press. Bench press all of a sudden has really been blowing up, and I think it's probably my most confident lift out of all three right now. In the bench press, I'm feeling like you can throw any weight on the bar and I'm going to press it. My technique feels fantastic. The only thing that I am worried about, and I need to get some more practice in because of this, at the IPF competitions we do use Alico racks, and whenever I've used an Alico bench, I have no idea why, but it just feels so different to what I'm used to. I still lift on a combo rack in my training, right, and it still feels so different to that, and I'm not sure what it is. I think the bench might be shorter. It's definitely not lower or higher, but it's definitely shorter. I don't know, man. I'm not too sure, but I need to probably practice and train on Alico racks a little bit more often. So I'm going to do that in the next upcoming weeks. But yeah, like I said, I feel like we can throw anyone at the bar and I'm going to lift it on the bench press, which is a completely new revelation because I hadn't PB'd on a bench press in forever. I remember over the past few competitions, I've been stuck at, my competition best is 125, man, and it's just not improved since. So today on this SBD session was such a nice feeling because, as you can see, working up to my top set, I hit a 131 kilo. Camera just died, but I don't even know where I was. I think I was talking about bench press. But yeah, anyway, bench press is moving really great. You saw me move 131 kilo. at an RP 7.5, 7.5, something like that. Very reluctant to call it an 8, but I think 7 is about right. So we'll just call it a 7, which means I've got, you would have thought I've probably got quite a lot of room to push, but I don't think I've got more than 2.5 kilo to push, to be honest. Maybe 5, but we'll see how the rest of prep goes. Moving on to deadlifts. Now deadlifts, at this point in my SBD day, I was feeling tired. You know, I did eat, I had a little bit of food, and I did have some electrolytes, and I had a big breakfast as well before I went to the gym. Plenty of fluids, but I think I was just gassed out. I probably should have fueled myself even more than I did. I did try and have like another half scoop of pre-workout, but it didn't really do much. And you know, I was warming up and I thought, you know what, I'm actually starting to loosen up a little bit now and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Working up and up and up, technique was feeling fine until we got to that top set, and I decided, you know what, I'm actually not feeling too bad. I'm going to get some salts out, I'm going to go for some salts and we're going to see how it goes. And it turns out they didn't help that much. If anything, I think I used the salts too much. I took too much of an inhale and my technique just dissipated almost. I went to initiate the lift, my knees shifted, my hips shifted, and I kind of just muscled the weight up. And now that hasn't happened in my sumo deadlift for months now. It was a very old problem, but I will let myself off. This was an all-time best. I think it was 231 kilo, which is an all-time PR, which is an all-time pull, but and it was meant to be at an RP7, and it definitely wasn't. So what I've had to do from here is kind of pull back on my training this week. I was immensely fatigued on yesterday's session, and yeah, I should have pulled back even more than I did, but for the rest of the week I'm pulling back. I was going to deload next week regardless, so I will keep going as projected, but I will just pull back a little bit this week, deload a little bit more next week, and then get back onto it for the final push of the 3 weeks before I compete, which is probably the smartest thing to do, just so I'm not entering the end of prep just completely exhausted and then relying on the taper to bring me back. Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm going to go. Also, my hair, man, is an absolute state. I'm trying to grow it, and it's growing. It's growing. It is doing the grow. Yeah. So yeah, leading into the next few weeks of this prep, I can feel myself start to, you know, when you're so close to a competition, you start to realise that it's a reality and it's not just kind of this this adrenaline surge anymore. It's not this kind of like a feeling that's just powering you through your workouts because you're excited, and you get to the end of your prep and you start to realise, oh shit, this is actually real. And that's kind of where I'm at now. And there's a lot of pressure on me. I've put a lot of pressure on myself because I want to perform well. Like I said previously, like I haven't done the best in my last couple of competitions. And the British didn't do how I would have liked. The competition before that was a local and I did okay, but the competition before that was all England's, and I didn't perform how I would have liked there either. And it just seems like every single time I step on the platform, my training doesn't transfer. But ever since then, I have I did, you know, me and my coach did part ways, and I started to coach myself, and it was a decision that I didn't take lightly. But it turns out, you know, so far in my training, it has proven that it was for the best, which was, of course, the goal is to always push and elevate my training and my own stuff. But yeah, now it's just kind of transferring it and putting it onto the platform. So the fact that it's so close now, it's like that adrenaline's starting to dissipate, and I'm starting to get a little bit more nervous, but in a good way, in my opinion, because it just shows that I care. It just shows that, you know, I really want it. So yeah, anyway, that's kind of where I'm at up here. In terms of all down here, I have dropped a good 1.5 kilos now. I was sitting at 77 at the start of prep. Now I'm around about 75.5, 76, depending on the day. So I've dropped a good 1.5 kg body fat as well, because I've been doing this over the past 6 weeks, and it's very gradual, and I'm definitely leaner as well. But I'm feeling good, I'm looking good. I'm very beat up at the moment, so I'm very looking forward to the lower intensity stuff and then the deload stuff, and then getting back into my final push for the end of prep. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Bit of a weird one. I know it's kind of just me sat here talking to you. I know I've had stuff going on in terms of, like, you know, I've had the SBD day in the background and stuff as well, and it wasn't really too interesting, but I wanted to kind of share, first of all, my new brand, Undeniable Performance, but I also wanted to talk. My mic's here. Oh, for fuck's sake. I also wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, how I'm feeling mentally and physically too. So hopefully that helped, and hopefully you guys took something away from this. You know, like when you watch people on Instagram, on YouTube, and they're competing and you see all their highlights and it's looking great, that's just not the reality. You know, most people are dealing with stuff in the same way as you, or maybe in slightly different ways, but everybody's got these mental acrobatics going on, where they're trying to like psych themselves up for a session, or trying to get through the end of prep, or whatever. Everybody's dealing with something. So yeah, don't know where I was going with that, but hopefully it helps. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the smash button, comment down below what you liked about this video, what you want to see in the future, and also make sure you share it to your socials. That would help me a lot. I'm pretty much about to hit 100 subscribers. YouTube is tough, man. I never realized how hard it was to grow on YouTube, but make sure you subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.